angle. But before I go to how, I would like to ask you why first. May I ask you a question? Can you make a guess what number is x so that I press sine this number is 0.75. Try in your calculator, everyone. Try in your calculator. What number is x? Please don't tell me guess and check. Sine 1, sine 2, sine 3, no. 49. How do you do 49, may I ask? Oh, you guess ah? Wow, so power. Can you guess four numbers so that I can reach this weekend? 60. Do you get 60?
Try.
Also guess and check ah?
I haven't said. I guess.
Okay. 147 ah?
48.5.
Okay, answer is this. Can you try? Press your calculator. Press your calculator. Can you also press your calculator for this? What do you get? Do you get 0.75? So do you agree that based on this, if I ask you sine x equals to 0.75 and I tell you this is equal to 0.75, this is equal to 0.75, do you agree that x, by the way, the word solve means find x, find x. So do you agree that x will be equals to 48.6 and 131.4? Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Does it make sense? So now you know this is the final answer. This is the final answer. Now let's draw a line and let's investigate how to solve. Let's investigate how to solve. Okay? So can we start? Okay, good question. So can you write down in red all angles is one decimal place in degree. Can everyone write this down? All angles is one decimal place in degree. Later on, you learn a new unit called radian, and that's a different story. So in degree is one decimal place. Okay? Now, that's why it's like that. So now, let's talk about how. Let's talk about how. Okay. Uh, First, I copy down the question. Next, I'm going to write down some steps. Step number 1, find reference angle. Alpha. This alpha you have seen before. This alpha is the alpha that you see in the sum of roots, alpha product of roots. So I just anyhow introduce a symbol called alpha. And this alpha will not be used anywhere else but here. So start. Find reference angle. Now, let me explain to you how to find reference angle. Very simple. You just, then can you write down? Ignore the negative sign. This series of steps I'm teaching you now is the A-max step. So that later when we go A-max, I will use the same step. So I don't want to say E-max one way, then A-max another way. Okay? It's going to cause a lot of confusion. Let me continue. How to find reference angle? Very simple. Can you write down? The alpha equals to sine. Just now Rachel already said. Bring the sine over. Now how do I press this? Again, very simple. Can you all of you press shift then sine? Press shift, sine, then press 0.75. Do you get the 48.59? Huh? How do you know? Okay, what do I mean by negative sign? Good question. The negative sign refers to the sign in front of the 0.75. Later on in A max, you will see the negative irritating you. Ah, okay. So just like that. So first step is to find the reference angle. Second step, can you write down second step in red? In Emacs, this second step is redundant because only first and second quadrant. But I want you to write down select quadrant and I want you to recite the pledge. And this is how the pledge go. Sign positive means it is first and second quadrant. For all homework, I insist you write this statement. In exam, all these statements got no mark. Why is it first and second? Because first quadrant, all positive. Sine positive, cosine positive, tangent positive. Second quadrant, only sine positive. Because, okay, how do I see sine positive? Can I bring your attention? Everyone, please look up. Sine x is positive 0.75. That means I say sine is positive. Let me contrast it. Can you read this? This is called what? Cosine negative. Can follow? Can I contrast it again? This is called tangent negative. Can understand now? So sine positive means it is in the first and second quadrant. Now let's recall. First quadrant is always the basic angle. Can you write down? First quadrant is always the basic angle. Can you also write down? Second quadrant is 180 minus reference angle. I'm sorry. First quadrant is your reference angle. Second quadrant is your 180 minus the reference angle. Now, step 3. Do you understand? Do you understand the two answers now? This refer to the first quadrant. This refer to the second quadrant. Notice I write one more decimal place. My final answer always one decimal place because that's my final answer. So 48.6, 1 point. Alright, so this is the two answers. Okay. Now can I delay you going back for like 2 minutes and let me complete the B. At least later you try C, you won't be that lost. I'm going to practice the first 3 steps with you using another question. So once everyone has taken this down, we will start B. Question 2.
You say Amex, right? We must use one quadrant.
Yes, yes.
Then how do we know if the cosine negative belong to the second?
Very good. Matthew asked a very important question. So for Emacs, how do we tell student it's only first and second quadrant? Can you scroll up and highlight the range? And write down, this is first and second. Which means, later on in Emacs, you will see from 0 to 360. 0 to 360. So for all Emacs question, you will only see 0 to what? 180. So you know it's only first 2 quadrant. Can follow? Okay, let's go. Now, let me run through the slides quickly. So number 1, find reference angle. I will not write the instruction anymore. Can you help me? This equals to what? Help me. Wrong. Juyang? Huh? How do I start? Cosine negative 1. Very good. Cosine inverse then 0.5344. Can you indicate that I actually ignore the negative sign, right? There is a reason. Can you write down? This is acute angle. Because all reference angle must be acute angle. All. So you must ignore the negative sign. Alright? So can you try and calculate equal to what? 57.78. 0.69. 69. Yeah? Alright. Next, step 2. Step 2 is to select the quadrant. Alright, step 2. Please, exam no need to write 1, 2, 3. I just write because I want you to take reference with the step. Step 2, select quadrant. Can you write out cosine what? Cosine negative is in second and third quadrant. But this third quadrant is out of syllabus at the moment. Later in AMAX, I will bring it in. Why? Third quadrant is 180 to 270. It's already out of range. You follow? I'm not confusing you, right? So you just cancel it. Because out of range already. So second quadrant, how do I find the answer? X will be, Nigel asked what is it third quadrant. You should not know third quadrant because you have not learned the AMAX part yet. So you didn't miss out that. Now second quadrant means 180 minus alpha. So 180 minus alpha. This I know. Sorry. This I know. How do I know? Can I shift up? Because yesterday we went through and we concluded for second quadrant cosine is negative. Tangent is negative. Only sine is positive. So once I see that cosine produce a negative, Jingfeng, cosine produce a negative ratio, I know it must be in second quadrant. In second quadrant, it must be 180 minus the reference angle. And what is the answer? Remember, one decimal place. Yeah, because the other answer is in third quadrant we haven't learned yet. Now, do you want me to go through one more? No need. You can try the other one as homework. Okay.
So do you remember there's 3 answers for X?
2.
Because
Yeah, but later on there can be 4 answers, 6 answers, or 8 answers. I will show you. For question 2, the X is only 1. For question 1, the X is this or that. Why? Because for sine positive, there are 2 quadrants. So you have 2 answers. Now, our homework for today will be this. By 24th, 25th, tomorrow it should be done. Turn to the next page. Can you try practice 1? 25th of April. Please try. Can you all indicate on your notes already? Please try because when you listen it's easy. When you do yourself, then you know what you don't know. Can you also try example 2 for fun? Can do good. Cannot do tomorrow, I go through. Thank you, class.